the missiles move again. Not toward cities, toward military targets buried deep in the machinery of war. Iran and Israel are striking each other's strategic positions right now, and the part nobody explains is why these targets matter so much. This is not random violence. Every strike in the Iran-Israel war now aims at something specific: radar, bases, command centers. The goal isn't noise. The goal is control of the battlefield, and someone is slowly shifting that balance. Iran launches attacks designed to weaken Israel's military reach. Israel responds by targeting facilities tied to Iran's operational power. On the surface it looks like retaliation, but underneath it's a strategic chess match unfolding in real time. The first crack appears when you look at the pattern. These attacks are not spread out across the map. They cluster around critical military nodes, places that quietly control surveillance, coordination, and defense. Remove those, and everything changes. And here's the strange part. Both Iran and Israel seem to know exactly where to strike. Not civilian centers. Not symbolic landmarks. They're hitting the nervous system of each other's military capability, which raises an uncomfortable question. Here's my take: this war isn't about spectacle. It's about disabling the other side's ability to see, coordinate, and respond. Every radar tower or command bunker hit weakens the chain of control, and someone clearly planned this escalation. Stop for a second and look at the pattern forming. Iran strikes. Israel answers with precision. Another target disappears from the operational map. The war keeps moving forward quietly, but each hit changes the next move. Meanwhile, both militaries avoid something very specific: mass civilian damage. That's not mercy. That's strategy. Because this phase of the Iran-Israel war is about weakening military capacity without triggering something much bigger. But the silence around certain locations is what makes analysts nervous. Some military objectives attacked in this war control surveillance and early warning systems, the eyes and ears of modern defense. Lose those, and the battlefield goes blind. And honestly, the public conversation keeps missing this. Everyone talks about explosions. The real story is infrastructure. Whoever removes the other side's military coordination first doesn't just win a battle, they reshape the entire conflict. Now watch what happens next. Iran targets positions tied to operational support. Israel responds with strikes designed to weaken strategic readiness. Each move hits something essential, and neither side is slowing down yet. Zoom out for a moment. This war between Iran and Israel is no longer about symbolic retaliation. It's about military leverage, removing the assets that give the other side confidence to strike again. And here's the quiet fear inside defense circles. If too many military targets disappear at once, radar, command sites, logistics hubs, the next strike could land before the other side even sees it coming. That's why each new attack matters more than the last. Every destroyed military objective slightly shifts the balance of visibility, coordination, and response time, the invisible currency of modern warfare. Meanwhile, commanders on both sides are watching the same thing: what still works and what suddenly doesn't. One damaged installation can force an entire defensive network to reroute overnight. And that's when wars become unpredictable. Because when the structure of a military network starts weakening, decisions get faster, riskier, and sometimes irreversible. Israel continues targeting Iranian-linked military infrastructure tied to operational capability. Iran responds by striking strategic Israeli military objectives. The pattern repeats, but each cycle removes another piece from the board. And here's the tension building quietly behind it all. When too many strategic targets vanish, leaders lose reliable information about the battlefield, and decisions start happening in the dark. The war between Iran and Israel is still unfolding. The attacks keep focusing on military objectives that control surveillance, readiness, and response. Which means the next strike might not just damage equipment, it could shift the entire tempo. And that's the part that should make everyone pause. Because when a conflict becomes a battle over military systems instead of territory, the next escalation doesn't start with soldiers. It starts with the systems going silent. One strike lands on a military objective that quietly supports coordination inside the Iran-Israel war. Screens flash. Command lines reroute. For a moment, the system hesitates, and hesitation in war is where everything starts breaking. Slow it down. A radar installation tied to military awareness suddenly stops feeding clean data. Operators stare at blank segments on the display. No alarms at first, just confusion. And in modern warfare, confusion spreads fast. Here's what I keep coming back to: this phase of the Iran-Israel war is not about territory at all. It's about breaking the military systems that make strikes possible. Remove the system, and the battlefield tilts instantly. One side launches another attack toward a military objective tied to readiness. The other side answers within minutes. Missiles move. Radar tracks. Command centers hold their breath, because the next system failure could change everything. This was never just about explosions between Iran and Israel. It was about dismantling the military systems that allow either side to strike at all. And honestly, targeting those systems may be the most dangerous escalation yet. Strategic strikes or reckless escalation, which do you see? Drop your answer below. I have a take, and I want to know if you see the same thing.